Hello there. Welcome once again to the Geeknd Live. I am still Jamie. We are still live and we are still in a shed that's not actually as previously cold as it previously was. It was very cold back in the day, but we are in slightly milder spring-like days. So, yeah, hopefully I won't go as blue in the background as I have done in the past. Speaking of which, Vigo is still here. I know some of you spotted some movements last week with Vigs in his picture frame there, which, of course, purely down to the fact that it is, in fact, a possessed picture. Nothing to do with the fact that I haven't quite secured it properly to the wall, i.e. the thing I stuck to an actual wall. But anyway, welcome. I hope you are all well. Who have we got here? Let's have a look. Jane Flakes, punctual. For once, you are on time. Welcome. Asha, hello, mate. Glaze, welcome. David Milano, previously in the shed, still in the shed. And it's good to see you, HG. Welcome to this alleged entertainment. What do we got? Well, we're gonna rattle through a few things that have taken my my fancy in terms of the week in geek, if you like. Although I'm not sure everything we'll be discussing tonight exclusively happened in this week. You know, I'm often behind the times. I'm pretty chill about life in general. Astromus, welcome. Richard, hi to you. Good to see so many familiar faces in the chat. And as you know, the chat is a big part of the show. You are a big part of the show. Yeah, you. So, you know, I'll come back to the chat and pretty much read out every message before actually reading it and checking that I should read out the message. So there you go. Set myself up once again for a fall. But what have we got? We're going to talk about a little bit about the Star Wars Disney Plus. I say new content, the new old content coming to Disney Plus. Bit of a surprise, I suppose. Want to know what you guys think of that. I'm sure you know about it. If you don't, we're going to go through it. Don't you worry. Bit of Lord of the Rings, because you know I love me some Lord of the Rings. Amazon series, the series that I started off being very worried about and then started to get cautiously optimistic about. But there's been some sort of strange casting news from the last few days. That's kind of got me worrying again about this this series, this thing I care about, you know, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. You know, I'm probably back to thinking I just rather didn't touch this in any way again. What else? Oh, yeah, Paul Bettany. Now, I have teased my Paul Bettany story, and I found the video that I need to accompany my words. And I've kind of realized it's probably not it's not worth the build up I've given it, but I'm going to go with it anyway. It's still fun. Nikolaki, welcome, mate. But I am struggling with technology as always. Who knew? So I just want to play a little bit of a clip now to check that you can hear the sound, because I realized on the way I'm going around this, which seemed the best way to play these files that I've made, I've clipped up the video into the relevant bits because the original video would have been too long. So I want to know if you can hear the sound. So we're going to get the full story and I'll give you the context later to what I'm about to play. Yeah. But can you hear the sound? Hang on a second. You should be able to see a blank screen now, but can you hear the sound? Can you hear the sound? Let me stop that now. So let me know in the chat if you just heard that sound, not the sound coming live from my microphone right now, but the sound of me speaking on that video screen with Paul Bettany. Like, what is that on his head? I think he's thinking towards me. Can you let me know in the, you heard it very softly. That's not very good. That could be a problem. Is that your volume though, Astromus? Can you? No. Clays is saying no. Richard heard it a little bit. So I'm wondering, HG saying just about, Clay's saying no. David Milano is saying a bit low. Now, the thing is, could it be, a lot of people have got their volume on low. So this is probably a problem my end. I don't think you've all got your volume on so low. Now I've got my laptop on the max volume. That's right, it's Glamour Magazine's 2006, Mr. Paul Bettany. So it's coming in through my microphone. That is no good. We're not doing that. So right, I might have another way of doing this. Don't you worry. In the meantime, if we can't do it, then I've let you all down. I accept that. I do accept that, and I don't know how I could ever make it up to you, apart from getting a grip and finding out how to do this properly for next time. But I am trying something in the background whilst we talk about other stuff. Hey, let's fill. Let's stall. And let's take David Milano's message off the screen, because it's been there too long. I love you, mate, but you've been there too long now. Yeah, so it's not good. It's not good. I'm sorry. Jay Richards as well saying it's very quiet. It's not good enough. You know, I have a certain level of quality that I like to instill in my my shambolic live streams. So let's move on to the first story, which I didn't tease. Just want to touch on this. I'm sure you've seen it because it's been getting a lot of well-deserved traction. But this is cool. This fan-made Razor Crest brusher. Now, this is on CNN Business. I made some notes earlier when I watched this again, but that's the guy who made it, the fan. Why did I write down his name? It was just on screen. I missed it. Al Fedorov. He made it. It took over 1 year to build, apparently, and it's now on display in a park in Siberia, I think. And it's bigger. Is bigger, maybe better than the real thing. The real thing was actually just a 2 feet long model, and this is 45 feet long. Size matters. Yes, it does. It's huge. Look at it. Amazing. You know, like if there wasn't a pandemic, I would be tempted to get myself over there. It looks dreadful. You know, like it looks colder than my shed. I'm not a fan of cold weather, so the weather looks dreadful. I'm not saying the ship looks dreadful, the person looks dreadful. That all looks great. And I've been to Moscow before, and I've had a great time in Moscow. But yeah, I don't like cold weather, really cold weather. But it looks amazing. It does look amazing. I can hear you, Sid. Yes, I'm not good at that accent. I don't know why I keep doing it. But you asked for it. You know, and what you ask for, you get on this stream. And that might not include the Paul Bettany story. I can hear you, Clem Fandango. Right. Ice spiders. Yeah, watch out for those ice spiders out there in Siberia. There's probably far worse as well, to be honest. But cool. That is cool. I'm a big fan of Al Fedorov's work there. And the fact that it's now on display, you know, for anyone to go and see in this park in Siberia, if you want to brave the elements, is fantastic. So well done, that man. Right, that wasn't on the list. I can confirm that one of the Bettany clips seems to have uploaded separately, so this is good. So I'm going to now just talking you through my process. Now I'm going to upload the second one, so four in total. And meanwhile, we will move on to our first main story, which could well be a never-ending story if I can't get the screen up quick enough. You know what? That smoothness I had the other week, it's gone. It's long gone. Have you noticed? Right. Let's talk about the Star Wars stuff. The new old Star Wars stuff that's coming to Disney Plus near you. Did this take you by surprise? I mean, I suppose we all assumed certain things like this would pop up eventually on Disney Plus. You know, why not? But the fact that we're getting something from the holiday special, which, you know, I would have presumed was in the contract between Lucas and Disney, you know, that never sees the light of day. But we're seeing a portion of it, which is probably all we're ever going to get in terms of on an official Star Wars, under an official Star Wars banner, at least. So if you don't know, both Ewok movies, the original Clone Wars series, and more Star Wars rarities are coming to Disney Plus. These are the words of Ryan Scott on movieweb.com. So these are coming on April 2nd. Disney Plus. You will have the Ewok movies. You'll have those 2003 Clone Wars animated series, which are actually pretty cool. I am working my way through the Clone Wars as we know it, the more modern ones, and I'm getting more and more into it. And I will share more of my thoughts when I'm through, when I'm done. But I think I had these on DVD, these animated ones, back in the day, and yeah, they were cool. I would actually, I can't. Yeah, Tartakovsky's. I've probably murdered that name. I would like to watch those again because I can't remember them too much, but I don't remember thinking they were terrible. That's for sure. Speaking of terrible, Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure. We got those Ewok movies, and most interestingly, the story of the faithful Wookiee, which is part of the infamous Star Wars holiday special, which aired only once in 1978. And as it says here, it was so bad that George Lucas did his best to scrub it from existence. But some of it is being put into the public Disney Plus domain. And that is the first sighting of Boba Fett we ever got. So that cartoon of Boba Fett, that is coming onto Disney Plus. And I think, why not? It's pretty cool. Some of this stuff is not good. It's really not good, but it's so bad it's good, kind of bad good. It's fun. This is kind of fun stuff to watch. I'm talking about the holiday special, the Ewok movies, and I'm not going to put the Clone Wars into the same bracket as them for now. I'm going to remind myself because I'm pretty sure I enjoyed those back then. But like at the same time, if this is your first introduction to Star Wars, if you're like a kid on Disney Plus, or if you're like really only a Marvel fan and never got into Star Wars, and you go onto the Star Wars section on Disney Plus and you click on like the Caravan of Courage as your introduction, it's probably not going to inspire you to go and explore more, is it? To go and explore The Mandalorian or even the movies. I don't think it's going to do much for the future of Star Wars in terms of exciting a new fan base, but it's cool for us, if you need some hangover viewing or something. So yeah, and at the end of the day, I guess this is the closest we're going to get to the holiday special getting on Disney Plus. I guess they pushed it as far as they can. I assume Lucas said this was okay, but you never know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he'll be furious, livid about this, and we'll find out in a future interview. But you know what? Like the holiday special is out there, as we know, it's out there. So if you really want to see it, you can find it. Right. I will come over to the chat in a moment. I'm just going to very professionally upload another of the clips that didn't seem to work in the previous way I tried to play them. 2 more to go. But let's just go on to the second story, and then I will come over to the chat, as I always do. I do. Yeah. I'm going to be like more rambly and airy than normal, and I apologize. I would say in advance, but I've already been doing it for 15 minutes. I've been up since the crack of dawn. I've been volunteering. I'm not looking for like sympathy for that. We all have to get up early at times. But like literally crack of dawn. And I've been volunteering at a local vaccination center. And yeah, it gives, very early, but I feel very good doing it. It's a really cool thing to kind of see happening. So yeah, that's why I'm going to be more rambly than normal, because I is tired now. Also, I had my vaccine today because I've been doing the volunteering, and I'm considered a sort of frontliner, I guess. I wasn't expecting it actually, but I got it, and I feel fine, to be honest. I was tired anyway, so I can't really blame that on the vaccine. But anyway, enough about me and my vaccinated self, half vaccinated. Got one more to let's look at this. I mentioned this at the top. If you've just joined us, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm from the Midlands, I'm from originally from Tolkien's home county, at least, the Shire, the OG Shire. And I love the films. I read The Hobbit as a kid before any of the films. I couldn't quite manage the Lord of the Rings books as a kid, but the films then made me want to go back when I was older and really give them a go, and I did. And when I first heard about this Amazon series, I've said this before, I wasn't happy. I wasn't really into the idea of it, but when I've learned more that it's not a reboot, it's more of a prequel kind of thing, you know, I've started cautiously getting more optimistic. But there's been some troubling news in terms of the casting. And I didn't realize they've actually filmed the first few episodes. They've done the pilot and a few subsequent episodes as well. And we might actually get the pilot this year, apparently. But anyway, Tom Budge, who is an Australian actor, I think from Melbourne, he has left. Now, I'm assuming, has had a fairly decent part, you know, so this is possibly maybe going to cause a bit of a headache in terms of what they do with his character, because it does say in the article that he was in the first few episodes. I'm sure it says fairly predominantly, but yeah, a little bit worrying. So he posted on his Instagram account, he said the following words: after recently seeing the first episodes shot over the last year, Amazon has decided to go in another direction with the character I was portraying. That's from Budge, who thanked the creative team for his words now, encouragement towards trying something that I believed was new, exciting, and beautiful. But all of those things clearly isn't what he saw, or weren't emotions that he felt when he saw the episodes so far. And as the article says here, you know, he's obviously being professional in public, but there's clearly frustration in his words. And I'm kind of thinking, you know, Tom Budge isn't a big name. This isn't the kind of project you, as far as I know, is not a big name. This is not the kind, it might be huge in Australia or just Melbourne. This is not the kind of project you walk away from easily. But he did thank the crew and the cast as well, and ended by saying, and he used the words difficult and unusual experience. Alas, some things just cannot be. And yeah, as Den of Geek here have highlighted, very difficult and unusual are not words typically used to describe a gig that came to an end under amicable circumstances. So it seems like all's not well on that production. But there was an update to the article where it actually says it was a studio decision, and they were looking for a different direction with this mystery character. So did they bump him off? I don't know. Maybe this is simply just a disagreement between the studio and this actor, but I didn't know about this before. But I think we talked about some of the actors that were talked about being in or were officially in and then did leave. But where am I looking for here? I didn't know that there's been quite a few behind the scenes shiftings and snubbings in some cases. So notably, the once promising consultancy of former Game of Thrones writer Brian Cogman abruptly ended before the pilot was completed. That's according to the One Ring. Got to trust the One Ring. Along with an array of producer exits, the production also declined the services of artist John Ho, a longtime illustrator and map maker for J.R.R. Tolkien literature, not J.J. Abrams, who, along with fellow legend Alan Lee, set the mythology's live-action aesthetic template as one of the lead artists on director Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings film trilogy. Additionally, prominent Tolkien scholar Tom Shippey, I told you it's going to get rambly and all over the place, who was serving as a consultant on the series, unamicably exited as well. Go through it, just about. So a lot of exits, and people who really know Tolkien as well, and really, created the cinematic version of Middle-earth that we know so well, have not stood the test of time within this production. So yeah, a little bit worrying. And now I've gone back to not wanting this to be a thing anymore. But we might get some footage soon, a trailer maybe, that might get me back into kind of more cautiously optimistic mode. Right then, I'm going to just add the final clip to the upload, and I'm going to come over to the chat, and then we will have the Paul Bettany story, Hopefully. Right, what's people thinking? So we've talked about the Star Wars stuff coming to the Disney Plus, and we've talked about how I've just moaned about the potential. We don't know. It could be nothing. Storm in a teacup. Business with the Lord of the Rings Amazon series. Is it someone's birthday? Right. Just going through the Nolan. Hello, mate. Welcome to the stream. Dale, my friend. Hello. Yeah. So this is referring to the Russian fan who made the Russian Razor Crest. Amazing. Yeah, a Wampa. A Wampa would be cool. They've got the weather for Hoth, haven't they? For those Hoth vibes. Yeah, you should definitely check it out. I mean, that was just the one video I had there to play, but there's loads of articles and loads of more photographs out there as well. Some really cool stills on Twitter I saw, which is where I get most of my news these days, it seems. And of course, all of it is true. Hello, mate. Welcome. Wow, that's not. I mean, I haven't driven down to Devon before, but I imagine that's not a regular sight, seeing an ATST on the side of the road as you drive down to Devon. But cool. Yes, the caravan is coming to Disney Plus. Sige is excited about the Clone Wars cartoon. It's one of my favorite bits of Star Wars media. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reacquainting myself. I'm just pleased I've seen something Clone Wars related, and I'm not a million miles behind the pack like usual. I've already seen it, but I just definitely need to remind myself that it was good. No. So Dale asked, does this mean that the 2 Ewok movies are now officially canon? I don't believe it does. As far as I'm aware, I read that somewhere, that they're still not classed as canon. Shocking, eh? Shocking. You just cancelled Disney Plus HG and took up Apple TV. What's Apple TV like? Is it worth me taking a little look, having a peruse over the Apple? Good evening, Simon. Thank you for sending me your prequels cut. I'm looking forward to watching it. I know I've been saying this for a long time, but I am looking forward to watching it. I've had to basically study the prequels for Lightspeed Tonight, which will become familiar to you all in very soon. I've been saying that for a long time, but this month you're going to know a lot more about it. So yeah, I'm not quite ready to give it like the kind of clear head it needs right now, but I am looking forward to doing it, and I am almost in that headspace. No, Dale, I've answered that. Have you asked me again? Or have I just clicked on the same one again? This is from Simon. Now, Simon is like, I've said this before, he's like a film scholar. He knows his stuff. So anything he says, I believe. Apparently, Carrie Fisher leaked for holiday special. She'd put it on at parties when she wanted the guests to leave. I believe it. It's funny, but I believe it still. What is it, Sige? What is it? Let me see. I remember watching one of them rented from the video store and loving it. I bet they don't hold up at all now. I remember the little girl having a weird name. None of this is going to hold up now, is it? I mean, the Clone Wars cartoon's good, but there's no... I mean, I don't think these held up in the 80s, did they? The what movies? Right. Okay, Astromus, I didn't know that. The Boba Fett cartoon is also an Easter egg on the Empire Strikes Back Blu-ray Digital. I did. I've been having my day. I had my day where recently where I put in like a request for future. These are the actors you're looking for interviews, and I can reveal. Haven't got anywhere of it yet. I have at least made a request for a Caravan of Courage related guest. Yeah, this is Dave Milano. In terms of the content that's being added to Disney Plus under the Star Wars banner, it makes sense. Basically, free content for them. I saw the Clone Wars at the Egyptian Theatre in Hollywood and met Stofsky, who was doing a Q&A. Cool. Well, that's the way to do it, isn't it? And yeah, exactly like you said, it is content that's out there anyway. It's theirs. They own it. They didn't make it themselves. It's just sitting there. And that, makes me think about, is it Detours? The Star Wars Detours, and there was like a chunk of an episode leaked a little while back, and I don't normally jump on leaks, but I think one of you guys sent it to me, I think in Discord, and which reminds me, because I always forget, let me just thank Patreon members while I'm here. Thank you, Patreon members. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was amazing, but it was the bit I saw was fine. And like David said, if that content's there, it's essentially free, then why not put that out as well? Surely they're going to with detours. It's detours, isn't it? Right, Merv, welcome. There has been some good Easter egg hunting. Is that in regards to the Boba Fett cartoon? Thanks, Sidge. Thanks, man. I'm just an everyday hero. Doing my thing at the local vaccination center. I'm really enjoying it. Not getting up at the crack of dawn, which is something I used to do a lot, but obviously with because I did a lot of freelance BBC work, so I'd do the odd sort of news production shift, and sometimes there's no point going to bed. But yeah, I've been used to it for a long time with all the lockdowns, so that hurts, but it feels good. It feels good being there. HG, had your jab yesterday? Yeah, I've got a sore arm too. I had the AstraZeneca, and that's all I have really is sore arm. Like I said before, I'm feeling pretty tired and run down anyway pre-vaccine, so I can't blame that on the vaccine. So if you're able to get a vaccine and you get offered one, my advice with no scientific background whatsoever, but I believe the people who do have scientific backgrounds, and I would say go get it. Yeah, I mean, The Hobbit was definitely the superior book for me as a kid. I mean, actually, The Lord of the Rings was too superior. I couldn't handle it. But I don't know. It's a superior book in the sense that, God forbid, I have children one day. It's it's the one I'd read to them. So I guess it's more all encompassing. More of a family book. But no, I hear you. Thank you, Astramus, and yeah, big up to the people doing the real work. There's some amazing people out there doing some amazing stuff. So being at these vaccine centers, I'm doing very little. I'm not stewarding, showing people where to go, but seeing the people doing the real stuff, it's really cool. Right. Oh yeah, HG. So Sidge, labeling the Hobbit book as the superior book in Lord of the Rings kind of franchise, if you like, but the worst adapted movies. They sold out. Turning one kind of small book into 3 films. They were chasing the money. Still enjoyed them, but nowhere near the standard really of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Hey, RSI Gaming. 11:50 p.m. Where are you? Are you in India? Whereabouts in India are you? I love India. I've spent I love going to India. And I love also going to Indian restaurants here in the UK. But I was in Mumbai whenever we were last allowed to travel. Feels like a lifetime ago. Hey, Brydonian. Hi, Jamie. Hope you are well. You've been a bit lazy with YouTube. That is shocking. You can be lazy with YouTube, just not with my YouTube. All right. Lots to catch up on. See you did a thoughts on WandaVision. Interested to see that. Yeah, don't get your hopes up too much. I just said a few things about it. I liked it overall, and loved it to begin with. Kind of didn't last in terms of loving it, but I liked it, enjoyed it overall. But good to see you back. And come on, look up your ideas. Be less lazy, at least to my YouTube videos, please. Right, Sidge, talking about the Amazon Lord of the Rings. I'm working my way through these. I cover how many of these streams cover pretty much the whole chat. Obviously, I miss some, and I don't do that on purpose. But Sidge is saying it looks like Amazon are going to try and get their own look and style. No, I agree with you, but I don't want that. I think a lot of people want the Peter Jackson look, but they will naturally want to distance themselves. Yeah, I can understand why they would want to distance themselves. I think that is a natural kind of process for them, really, because they are going to be compared to it. They can't, they can't get past that. People are going to compare it to the movies, but at the same time, I suppose if they're trying to be the movies in the look, then that's only going to get amplified, isn't it? So no, I think it's not what I want, in a way. But I think you're right. I think it makes sense, and I can see where they would be coming from in that approach. Old man Jim in Australia. Hello, my friend. Good morning to you. Right, Simon. It seems as if Peter Jackson and Noita is not involved at all either. It seems like there was potential of personnel being involved, but they were budged out. Speaking of which, Budge's part was edited to seem more evil or pervy, or maybe he was revoiced without him knowing. Yeah, Dave Prowse style. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But maybe we'll get the full story. Kino one day. Kino, welcome. Welcome, my friend. We're not having the Rio Ferdinand story tonight, but we might be having the Paul Bettany story very soon, if this is going to work. If you've just joined, I've had some technical issues. Who knew? Me having technical issues. Do you think Cad Bane could work in live action, or is the cowboy hat best left as a cartoon? I don't think cowboy hats are best left as a cartoon. Now, whether Cad Bane wearing a cowboy hat should be left in cartoon form, I'm going to come back to you on that, because I'm still working my way through the Clone Wars. So I am yet to form all of my opinions on those characters. But I'm sure others in the chat will give their thoughts on that. I have to say, I think he's a cool character. And if they can make him work and not look like, too much like Newt Gunray, who I have a lot of respect for, but at the same time, it's just doesn't move, just doesn't move. I don't know. It would have to be a pretty good. Would it have to be CGI? Kind of think it would have to be CGI. I don't know. Who would play him? But in terms of him as a character, I need to see the Clone Wars more to sort of understand where he would fit in. Does he even survive the Clone Wars? I don't even know yet. Don't tell me. But could he work? I think they could make him work, sure. But I'm just trying to figure out whether that would be best as CGI or prosthetics. Now, if you've seen my prosthetics work with Lightspeed tonight on the little teasers I put out, you will not really take my my opinion very well, and you shouldn't, because I'm not very good with prosthetics. I don't know anything about prosthetics. All right, this is the tiredness now. I'm sorry, I'm rambling about things. Kino's full. Do you know what? I have to say, so the question is, do you prefer the animated Clone Wars or CGI Clone Wars? So again, I am like, what have I got? About 3 seasons left of the CGI Clone Wars now. And I found the first 2 seasons a bit of a chore, but I'm more and more getting into it and finding it an easier watch as well. I saw those animated ones, the 2D ones, when they came out. I'm sure I had them on DVD as well, and I remember thinking they were pretty cool. But I'd need to rewatch them again, and I will April 2nd. So I'll come back to you on that one. But also, I probably need to complete the CGI Clone Wars first as well. So I'll come back to you on that. But anybody else, let Cinematic Studios know in the chat what you think. Do you prefer the animated Clone Wars or the CGI Clone Wars? I certainly do not prefer the Clone Wars movie. I saw that when it came out, and that's probably what put me off joining up with the series, watching that in real time when everyone else was. Right, Glenn, you made it. You made it to a lot. You watch the. I know you always watch the live shows, so it's great to see you here in the moment, live, as opposed to in the future where you've been. You're a time traveler. You've been watching in the future, leaving your comments. By the way, if you haven't already, please like this video. If you real world like it, then give it a virtual like. Right, let's see. If there's anything I've missed that is very important, please copy and paste it. Yeah. I know it's not right of me, but I'm more saying like this. I just don't think the costumes are very good. But it was a long time ago, wasn't it? They can do better. Right. If I have missed anything, please copy and paste them back in, and I will get to that. Right. So let's see if we can do this Paul Bettany story. Now, I am Daniel. Welcome, my friend. Also, David's here as well. And hello, anyone else that I've missed. You're all welcome. Daniel's so welcome. I put him up twice. I am going to try and tell the Paul Bettany story now. This could disappoint you in two ways. One is that I've bigged it up too much, and actually it's not even that great a story. That is very possible. What is possibly even more possible is that I don't even tell you the story in the first place because I've been having technical problems. Those who have been here since the very beginning will know that I've had to go for a plan B option. So let's try the plan B option. Tell me, in fact, I'm not going to play it because they're quite long, these clips. So I need to give you the kind of context. So hopefully this works. So I'm going to start with the context, just hoping that this is going to work. I know I've talked about press junkets before. Press junkets, if you don't know, you probably do, and you've definitely seen them. So whenever you see an actor in like a dark room and you see the film poster that, for the film they're talking about behind them, and there's a journalist on a second camera asking, you know, pretty mundane questions. I'm one of them, or have been one of them. That is a press junket, and the actor sits in the posh hotel room, and they are like super posh. So Disney, so I've done a Marvel one, and I've done an Avengers one, and I've done a Star Wars one. They use the Corinthia near Embankment Station in central London, and these are like super posh. And I hate going there. I just feel really out of place. I genuinely do. I'm not a fan of them. And you know, they put like a nice little. There's like a green room, and like there's snacks and stuff, so that's nice. I'm all about the snacks, but I don't like going into the posh hotels, and I don't like going into the room where there's loads of people around, and then obviously there's lights, there's cameras, and that's fine. But then there's the one person that you're there to talk to. The one person who's sitting there all day. First world problems. They're sitting there all day in a 5-star hotel, having things brought to them, you know, refreshments. And the idea is that the film company pays for the camera crew. Journalists come in, they get like a 5-minute slot, and the talent doesn't have to move. Journalists just come in, you know, churn out the interviews one after the other. You get given like the tapes or the memory cards, and you go away and you've got like, you know, good quality footage and sound, and you do what you need to do with your footage. However, when you've got like 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes includes literally getting in the room, sitting down, trying to break the ice and getting out again, you're looking at like, you know, 4 minutes really. And you know, I ramble, so I can be just in my pleasantries, and I'm told, Jamie, it's time to leave now, and I'm like, I've only just said hello. So you know, all these people are around, and I don't normally mind that, but it's the fact you can't really communicate with them much because you've got to get in and do your thing. So I don't like press junkets. I get it if you're just looking for like little talking heads, or if you're going to get a number of guests on this junket. So if they're going to give you like 5 minutes with Mark Hamill, 5 minutes with Daisy Ridley, 5 minutes with Adam Driver or whatever, you can then sort of ask a silly question to all of them, the same silly questions, and then, you know, edit it together as a montage. A lot of people do that because you ain't getting anything deep and meaningful from these chats. So, you know, I don't like them. I do like doing proper interviews, and hopefully you'll agree that I do proper interviews sometimes, and you can't do those in junkets. So, you know, if the Geeknd channel got to a stage where it was big enough to be invited to junkets, I don't know if I'd do it. I'd probably do some, but I wouldn't I wouldn't turn them into kind of like, you know, hero content like these are the actors you're looking for, I guess, is considered, at least in my mind. So yeah, I'm not a fan of junkets. So that tells you that. And I was going to this one over the years. I've done lots of freelance work, and I was going to this one for Comedy Central UK. So it was a video interview for the Comedy Central UK website, and I got given Paul Bettany. So this was for Avengers Age of Ultron. The cool thing is you have to see the film before you do the interviews, which, like, you know, completely understandable, completely makes sense. That is basically the contract. There's no contract, but that's like the rules. You must go and see a screening, go to a press screening before. And they normally give you a number of press screenings in smaller cinemas, and Disney often used the big ones too. So I went to see Age of Ultron in one of the huge cinemas in London, Leicester Square, and the night before, so I saw it, and then I went to see Paul Bettany. Now I was given I don't know why, but because Comedy Central UK is not a big deal. But I was given a double slot with Paul Bettany. So I had like 8 to 10 minutes. I can't remember the exact timings. What year was this? When did Age of Ultron come out? 2016, 15, 14, around then. I don't know the full timings. And also I haven't been able to find the original raw footage. I've only been able to find the edited video. And basically, because I had this double slot. You're still with me? Because I had this, Daniel, thanks. I know, but there's context, it's background. I'm building up to something that might not even work. I've just remembered this might not even work. The video clips may not even play. But 2015 was Age of Ultron. Thank you, Liam. I was given this extra time, and I just had dumb questions written because it was for Comedy Central, and again, even. Dumb questions is what Comedy Central wanted, and my word, these were dumb questions, which you'll find out in a moment. And I'm to blame for Paul Bettany being quite upset, although not originally, because I had this extra time. I thought, well, I can break some ice with him, and I've been told that I was the last one before lunch. Now, people often think in these situations it's like going for a job interview. Do you want to be early on in the day while the people interviewing you are still fresh, or do you want to be towards the end, where they're like or do you not want to be towards the end where they're getting tired? Or actually, do you want to be towards the end where, perhaps you can make a lasting memory? I think with junkets, you probably don't want to be towards the end because, these are like Hollywood A-listers. They're not all cool. And most of them don't want to be there, So I kind of think you're probably better off being there earlier when they're less bored, less prickly. But you know what? The journalists mostly don't want to be there either, mate. But Bettany, anyway, I was told I was in there before his lunch, and I kind of thought, this is bad. I'm standing between Paul Bettany and his lunch, and there's a double slot. So I made some really awful chit chat about, here I'm standing between, it's me between your lunch here. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that's true. But to be honest with you, I ordered a chicken Caesar salad." No, nice, good choice. No, I don't want a chicken Caesar salad. I don't know why I asked for it. And like at first, I thought he was just sort of like just joking, just being a bit dry, but he was really annoyed by his menu choice. I imagine it was probably a pretty good menu as well. So he was pretty. He was not in a good mood by his menu choice. But me being, the professional that I am, I provided a bit of escapism for him, from the reality of his poor lunchtime choice. So as you'll see, I opened the interview and made him laugh. Let's hope this clip plays. Here we go. I'm with an actor whose previous roles have included an albino monk, a disembodied voice, and Johnny Depp's jockstrap. That's right, it's Glamour Magazine's Man of the Year 2006, Mr. Paul Bettany. Hello, Paul.
2006.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm not Man of the Year anymore.
Are you ready for an incredibly serious interview? Did that work? Did you get the sound? Please tell me you got the sound, because I have just done like a 7-minute build-up to that one clip. There are more clips. And we're gonna wrap this up by 7 p.m. UK time. But somebody tell me in the chat, did you get the sound with the clip? Yes, great. Right. So, by the way, I agree. I mean, it's first world problems, but you do sign up for this. When you sign up for a film, you're also signing up part of your diary for press. The film will own you or use you for a certain amount of days, and if you're an American-based actor, obviously you'll be coming to the UK because the UK tends to be the sort of capital of Europe for the movie junkets. So actually at the big ones, you will have journalists in the green room from France, from Spain, and you know what? Like some of you might remember this. Robert Downey Jr. stormed out of an interview, a UK interview. I think it was with Channel 4. And it was at this junket. So this junket was just like doomed. And I felt really sorry because this young Spanish girl journalist was next with Robert Downey Jr. And he stormed out. And she'd flown from Spain for this interview. She might have been new at the company. And there's pressure on you there because you're there for someone else. If I messed this up for Comedy Central, which I kind of did, and they had nothing to use, and they were not going to pay me. you know. So for this girl, if she was new there, like, stressful. But apparently they calmed it down, and he did come back later, and she got her interview. But yeah, I don't know if you ever heard about him storming out of an interview in the UK. That was this junket with Paul Bettany. So anyway, I've got a second clip. Where is it? I made Paul laugh, you know. I think I made him laugh there. I hope you'll agree. And I reminded him that there's more to life than having a bad lunch, you know. And if you like your chicken Caesar salad, then that's not a bad lunch. But then it started to go a bit wrong as my lame line of questioning began. Here we go. Clip 2. Would you rather be able to fly, but only for 10 minutes at a time, and as you're doing so, your toenails will grow several inches, and when you cut them, it's going to really hurt you? Or be able to walk on water, but everything you ever eat tastes like licorice?
I hate licorice. So I really want to fly. So I'm taking the painful toenail and 10-minute situation.
I'm sorry, Paul, that's the wrong answer.
Oh, there was a right and wrong answer.
So now Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
How would you compare it to the last one? But I've got a challenge for you. You can't use the words bigger or darker.
It is enormous.
I think there were police sirens going off in the background. Yeah, bad questions. The bad question, please. So, you know, things after I got the mood up, the mood started to go down when I brought up another type of food that he doesn't like. I don't know if he doesn't like chicken Caesar salad, or if he just didn't feel like it all of a sudden, but does like it perhaps on a Tuesday. But anyway, I had to obviously try and get things going again with Paul. Yeah, he did obviously give me more of an answer, but I've cut it out because you're just here for my bad questions. But we're going to get to the bit where I upset him. So after that, I managed to get him sort of back on my level again, or at least we were both on the same level, some sort of level, and made him laugh again. Here we go. Do you think you might have been upgraded to full body form sooner if you had a slightly more exotic sounding name, perhaps Paolo Bettany, for example?
I've often thought about that, and it's interesting that you should bring it up. I'll think about that moving forward. Potentially, Paolo Bettany is a good idea.
We've got an election in the UK, very important for the country, and I would say for the Avengers as well. I mean, if Farage gets in, Thor's in deep trouble. It's straight back to Asgard for him. So I think we need to think about it. Let's not allow this to happen. So, obviously, Age of Ultron, was the first time we saw Vision in full body form in live action. So that's where that first bit came from. And I think I asked him who he would like. I asked him who would like to run the country out of the Avengers. He went for Hawkeye. He didn't really give me a reason why. Now then, it all went wrong again. All right. I felt like we were on a bit of a rapport. It took a while to get there because obviously chicken Caesar salad gate. And I was approaching the end of my time. And then I kind of blew it all. Right. Here we go. The final clip where I blew it all. So last year we had Transcendence.
Yep.
This year, Mordecai.
Mm-hmm.
Is Johnny Depp trying to ruin your career? Awkward. So the kind of TV switching off effect thing is from the actual edit. Like I said before, I don't have the raw footage, but I remember the awkwardness and that going on for quite a long time. And then he unleashed a sort of very diplomatic response. You know, well, actually, Johnny Depp has been very, very integral to my career, and he's been a very, lovely man, and he's helped me. And I went on for ages, and he sort of got angrier as the response went on. I'm a douche. It's all my fault. But overall, he was great. And that was the end. I wasn't forced out. I just knew that was the time to wrap it. So this was the rare occasion in a junket where you're not being told from someone behind the camera to wrap up. I'm actually wrapping it up. Like, I think it's best to leave now. So, then I left. And then presumably he was shortly after presented with a chicken Caesar salad. So I can only imagine that mood got even worse. And I did not help matters. I don't know what upset him more, whether it was me or the chicken Caesar salad? Let me know in the chat. But there were some bad films he was in with Johnny Depp, you know. So yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, Liam. I'm glad they're working. That's the main thing. But I have to say, I watched back the full interview, and he was lovely, you know, and he put up with my nonsense, to be fair. And I'd love to do a proper interview with Paul Bettany. He was great in WandaVision, really great. And I liked him in Solo as well. And, you know, this was all pre that. So there's so much more, you know, for my nerdy mind, at least, to unleash upon him. So, yeah, I'd love a... Yeah, Simon. Exactly that. So, yeah. Robert Downey Jr., our DJ, walked out from this press junket. You know, I didn't have time with him. He was doing an interview with Christian Murphy from Channel 4, and walked out. I think he walked out mid-interview. It's on camera, isn't it? I think YouTube it. Channel 4, Robert Downey Jr. storms off, whatever. It will come out, and that was at this junket. Like I said, I believe he did come back, or at least it was the next day, and the journalist was offered another slot. Even that would be out of order, though, if she then has to, you know, extend the hotel booking or whatever. Worst junket interview of all time is a guy named Jamie Stangroom. Okay, you haven't named me, but you should. I am the worst. I just don't like them. I just don't like them, and I don't care for them. And the person in front of me doesn't care for them either. So if we're not going to just have a laugh on my terms, then what's the point? What's the point of it all? But you know what? If I had 15, 20 minutes, the daft questions would be 20% of that. You know, I'd always do some daft questions. But what can you do in such a short time frame? Yeah. A question like that will make the actor feel like you're wasting his time. But you know what? They get worse. And the junkets, to be honest, so for example, I did like a silly quiz with the Last Jedi junket I was doing for an online magazine. They do have an actual magazine, but I was doing it for the online branch called Shortlist in the UK. They asked me to do the Last Jedi one, which is the last ever one I've done. And I had like a silly Star Wars quiz, because I had a number of the actors, so no time, like 4 minutes. So it's best to do the quiz with all the actors, montage it up. And John Boyega loved it. Ryan Johnson really enjoyed it. Sorry. But John Boyega loved it. And he told my friend, a friend of mine, works with for John Boyega's agency, and he was at the premiere. I was not invited to the premiere, but he was at the premiere for The Last Jedi. And Johnny, my friend Johnny, told me that John came over to him, and they were chatting anyway, and said, "Oh, by the way, I met your friend today." He says, "Jamie, I don't think you remember my name," but he said, "Can you thank him, because he really livened up what's usually, you know, a boring day." So I think a lot of them do enjoy the daft questions that are essentially wasting everybody's time. A lot of them do enjoy it, but some don't, and that's completely understandable. He was more happy. He was more happy than he looks. He was, I think. But do you know what? I want to believe at least, he was more annoyed about his poor choice of lunch. I've missed loads of comments. So if we'll go on for a couple more minutes. If I've missed anything out, please copy and paste it back in. This probably should be the last one, really. Sums it up. What have I missed? Yeah, there's a lot of good in Solo. I feel Solo is underrated. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying severely underrated. Mate, they were, but it was underrated. They were bad movies. Mordecai was awful. This is all in my humble opinion, but in Mordecai, I also referenced it in the intro. He plays a character called Jockstrap. They were awful movies, and they got panned as well. And he knew that. He got the joke. But he was not going to play along with it, of course. Is there anything I've missed? Yeah. I should do that, shouldn't I? I probably shouldn't do that, should I? But maybe he's vegan now. Maybe he's vegan, so I'd have to obviously ditch the chicken, make sure it's a vegan-friendly dressing as well. Yeah, and I do not hold that against you. I do not hold that against you. I love there's a lot of passion for solo out there. There is a lot of passion for solo out there. And I hear that. I respect that. And I do think it was underrated. Yeah, Mordecai was bad. It was bad. I think they filmed a lot of that near my old pad in Bethnal Green, East London. Yes, Sid, you don't need, I mean, you've heard of them now. You don't need to explore or delve any deeper. Right. If there's anything I've missed, please copy and paste it back into the bottom. Did I have any anything else to share with you all? I haven't. So if there's anything you want to share with me, let me know in the comments. We'll go on. We'll hit that 1 hour mark, so a couple more minutes. But you know, I'm not. Have I been? Have I mentioned I'm tired? Skywalker Sound, and good to see you, by the way. I hope you're well. I'm very tired. I've been getting up at the crack of dawn, volunteering. We put like the little halo emoji thing on at a vaccination center. Making sure people go in the right direction to getting a needle stuck in their arm. Yeah, I'm not sticking the needle in people's arms. That would put enough people off. That would, the anti-vaxxers would have a field day with that. No one would want to get vaccinated, but I'm pointing people in the direction of the needle at least. So I'm very tired, but overall I'm good. Thank you. I hope you are too. A lot of love for solo in the chat. What's this, Simon? Danny Boyle, the film director, who I almost ran over once. Well, I was in a car that almost ran him over once. Back in East London, not in Bethnal Green. My mate Brady was driving us. I don't know where we were coming from, but I don't even know why we were driving. I don't even know why he had a car. I don't drive in London at all. But anyway, we were in a car and we were driving through Mile End, and the film studios, is it Mill Hill Studios that Danny Boyle uses a lot, are out there. And he ran into the road, just London. The traffic was at a standstill pretty much. But we started just to move out, started to creep, and he basically sort of ran into the road, ran in front of us, did a bit of a, and that was it. That's the end of that story. I don't know if that topped the Bettany one. Anyway, let's go on with Simon's message. Danny Boyle said he always slightly moves his chair after every interview during junkets to avoid going insane. So they each felt different somehow, mate. Little things to keep you going. Look, I said first world problems for the actors and the directors sitting in these hotel rooms. It really is a first world problem. But at the same time, I get it. It's going to get dull. And that's what I'll say as well. A lot of them do appreciate the daft, questions. A lot don't. Right. The worst junket, Philip Hawkins. If you are HG, I think you'd like Philip Hawkins' channel. You do a lot of Doctor Who, and you've been doing Red Dwarf as well, haven't you? I've seen recently you've been doing on the channel. But anyway, my worst junket was the Last Jedi one. Which junket? There was a junket where I knocked over a table, and it was one of the tables with like the coffees on and stuff. That was pretty bad. But the Last Jedi one, I'm not doing a plug. Well, I am doing a plug, but I don't mean to do a Patreon. I do monthly videos where I talk about sort of behind the scenes of various interviews. So people vote for the ones I do, and the Last Jedi junket was voted for once, and it was a very cringy experience. So the Last Jedi, I'm not saying was the worst movie. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon, but it was definitely the worst junket, and was the last junket. I haven't done one since. And probably won't again. I've had it. I had it today. They gave me it today, which I didn't ask for, wasn't expecting, but I'm considered frontline apparently with the volunteering. So I had it. I had the AstraZeneca one today. I felt tired. I said this earlier. I felt sort of tired anyway before the vaccine. So I'm not blaming feeling tired on the vaccine, but I've got a little bit of a sore arm, but that's it. It's all good. Glenn's still waiting for his. It's gonna come next week or two. Good on you, man. David, what you saying? No, you're the man, David. You are welcome. This is the point where you all need to just hang up on me, guys. Hang up on me, because I don't like hanging up first. All right. So that's the best way of doing this. Yeah, Free Meal Studios. Thank you. Do you know what? Like he was a traffic controlling zombie. He stopped us, and we only realized like Brady's a huge film fan. Brady works in film now. He did all right. We went to uni together. He did all right out of it. He works in like proper film now. But yeah, so he was the one who realized, but we didn't realize till we'd like moved well away from that area of Mile End Road. But yeah, it was him. It was definitely him. And yeah, right by Free Mill Studios. So it does make sense. Thank you, Astramus. Thank you. So people are now hanging up on me, which is good. Oh, the Sarge is here as well. But that's Glenn's message. Thank you, Glenn, anyway. And the Sarge, you almost got hit by Danny Glover once. When working with him on Old Man and a Gun, it was more hilarious than it sounds, and he was a great guy. Yeah, that's a story I'd like to hear one day. I mean, like, was this sort of in a scene? Was he supposed to punch you, or was this completely accidental? We'll have to hear this story one day. Best junket was the What Do You Think About Jizz? And that was technically not a junket, but that was at a Comic-Con, and I had my little own area and lined people up for a chat about jizz. Yeah, that was fun. That was at London Film and Comic-Con. And of course, by jizz, I'm talking about the genre of Star Wars music, i.e. the Mos Eisley Cantina Band. Right, everybody, thank you. I can see you're all hanging up on me, which is good. This is the way the stream should end. This is the way the stream ends. Thank you, Dale, as well. And Simon, I'm surprised Disney haven't edited all the Star Wars Underground footage. Yeah. Apparently enough for several episodes, short series that Lucas shot in 2012. Surely we're going to see something of that. And the detours, as I mentioned earlier, one day. It just makes sense. I think it was Dale who said earlier, it's free, or was it David Milano? It's free content. Free content. Use it, man. Right, everyone. Thank you. I can see not all of you hung up on me. Come on, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up, Philip Hawkins. Philip Hawkins. I'm going to go and lie down now, all right? You're all right. You know, it's not easy being a hero, volunteering at a local vaccination center. Did I mention that? Yeah. Right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you all take care. And I will see you all this time next week. So take care, stay safe, and all of that. And I am clicking end broadcast. So I am now officially hanging up on you. Almost. Hang on.